In today's special COVID-19 episode, we're talking about self-regulation, how to help your child regulate their impulses and be able to get their bodies in the right mode for learning, especially learning at home. I'm Allison DeFrees, and you're watching Reading with Allison. Children are doing a lot of things these days that are very different for them. It's not uncommon for an older child, say high school, college, or for an adult for that matter, to take a class online. But for a lot of students in America, they are taking classes online or completing packet assignments from their teachers. Keeping up their learning is so important, and at the time of this recording, most of us in America have been out of school or social distancing for nearly 6 weeks. Oh, it's a long time, especially if you tack on a spring break before schools began shutting down. Being out of school is not easy for students when they're still expected to do the work. A lot of kids are disappointed right now because they're not enjoying this break very much. It's not the whole school's canceled dream they had. This is like a nightmare. They have to do a lot of work. Now, parents, you guys have to do a lot of work too. I get it. It's very hard to help your child with somebody else's lesson plan. That's another video for another time. Today's video is all about helping your child get their bodies in the right mode for learning. This is called self-regulation. It helps them regulate their impulses and is a life skill. As adults, we tend to be able to do this because we've practiced doing this. We're able to ignore a notification on our phone if we're in a deep conversation with a loved one. For example, we're able to ignore some distractions if we are working on a deep project. So, helping your child master these skills is part of the parenting job. But I want to share with you a strategy that the occupational therapists at my former school shared with all of us teachers. Whenever the OTs came to us with an idea they were in love with and said we should use it in the classroom, of course we did. This idea comes from the Alert program. I'm going to link to them. They're fabulous. You should definitely check them out. So the idea is all about thinking about our bodies as little engines. And sometimes engines run too high or too low. And ideally, we want them to be just right. This whole concept can help your children self-regulate in many different situations. But what I'm coming to you today to share is how to help your child get in the right mode for learning. Now, the Alert program shares that you can use many different visual cues to help children get into a perfect zone for learning or for doing whatever task they need to be doing. So the visual cues are different, and these are the two that I love. They're very simple, and they're very easy to put in a child's learning station or their desk, their work area. It's great even to keep it on the refrigerator door. So you can see 3 circles, yellow, green, and red. Simple enough, right? I'll explain it all in just a second. Here's another one that I like. Orange, green, red. Very simple. They're just colors. They're quick cues to help a child check in with their engine once this language has been established with your child. So the pictures represent 3 different things. Your engine is low, green is just right, and red is too high. This would mean, how are you doing with your impulsivity, basically? Let's self-regulate to the perfect, just right zone. So if we are too high, if we are red, that might be perfect for the playground. And don't we all wish we could go to the playground? Or for a sporting event, which that would be great to attend as well. During social distancing, we're not able to do those things. But red is too high, and that is sometimes perfect for different situations when a child is encouraged to be very active and very vocal and very busy with their body, and their engine can be on high. Now, too low, additionally, can be perfect for a couple of different situations. Like if you're snuggling in bed and reading a nighttime story and about to turn off the lights and go to sleep. You want to have your engine be running low and be getting kind of sleepy and relaxed. Now, red and yellow, high or low, are not exactly perfect for learning. So we want to get our engines into the just right green zone for learning. And again, I'm using this language, this dialogue that relates to the engine, and you can read more about it from the alert program. For learning, you want your engine to be just right. Now, when I was a teacher in the classroom, our kids would come in from recess, and you know how it is. Right after recess, there's some academic subject. Well, going from recess where you're kicking the soccer ball, picking teams, it's hugely social and a very important time for kids, to going to, say, writing class where kids are oftentimes less involved or bored even. It might even be challenging work for them and they don't love it. It's hard to make that transition. So talking about engines helped us make that transition. When you are going from high to just right, it's going to take a few minutes. So as a teacher, I would just have to point to the color. We knew this language, we talked about it all the time. I would point and say, in a few minutes, we're going to start writing class, and it's going to be important that you are in the just right mode. And then we would go through a couple transition activities, and then by the end of the transition activities, I could check back in and say, we're going to start writing now. This was on the board. We're going to start writing now. I want you to get your engine into just right mode. Now, here are some things that your child can do to get into a just right mode. They can do some push-ups, or they can do some jumping jacks. When there's great, strong energy on our joints, it helps relieve some stress. So something else kids can do to help transition into a just right zone is to do an intermediate activity. This could be getting water, a snack, going to the bathroom, checking in on all their biological needs, such as food, water, bathroom, clothing. All of that could be good. If your child feels uncomfortable physically in any way, they're going to have a hard time self-regulating during learning times. And there are hundreds of different activities you can do as a family to transition from too high to just right for learning. I think you know about these already, and you're probably answering them in your brain as you watch this video. Maybe it's reading a story, maybe it's having a snack for your family, maybe it's something else. I would love to know what you're doing to help your kids self-regulate and to get into a just right zone. You can continue this conversation in our parent-only Facebook group called Reading with Allison Parent Community. Thank you for watching this special COVID-19 episode of self-regulating and trying to help your children learn from home. It's very hard right now, and everyone is doing their very best. Please like and subscribe to this video channel. It helps other parents find this much needed information. I'm working on a lot of projects right now for kids and adults that will help you during this time of learning from home. Remote learning is what I do. So I'm super excited that you are doing it also, but I understand you might not want to be doing it. These resources are meant to help you and meet you where you are. I really want you to know about them, so please go to my website and join my mailing list. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.